I remember middle school, junior high school was kind of tough for me, growing up from 6th grade to 8th grade. I remember I went to this junior high summer camp one year. I was in 6th grade, and I didn't have many skills, and I was staying with these other 6th grade boys, and we were looking at all the different activities, what to do during that time, and there wasn't much that we could do. We were not very athletic. I couldn't play basketball, couldn't play soccer, couldn't do much. But there was one activity that we thought that we could enter and actually not only do well, but also win, and it was a pancake eating contest that they had in this 6th grade junior high camp. And I remember the older kids were making fun of us, and so we were determined not only to enter, but to win. In this contest, it actually takes 5 junior hires to be able to cook a pancake. And basically, it was a relay race. And all 5 teammates starts off at the designated area, and when the gun goes off, the first guy runs to the fire pit and drops off all the firewood and all of the kindling. He runs back and then tags guy number 2. Guy number 2 runs up to the fire pit and organizes the firewood in a way that it could be lit. When he's done with that, he runs back and tags guy number 3. Guy number 3, his job was to light the fire. And in this contest, you are only given 2 strike anywhere matches. If those matches blow out, you are disqualified. After he gets the fire going, he runs back, tags guy number 4. Guy number 4, his job is to run up with the frying pan and pour the pancake into the pancake batter onto the frying pan and begins to cook it. And as you know, cooking a pancake, you got to cook both sides. In this contest, guy number 4 is not given a spatula. He has to actually toss the pancake in the air to cook both sides. After he cooks both sides, he runs back, tags guy number 5. Guy number 5, his only job is to eat the pancake, okay? And whoever finishes first wins. So I remember that me and my other buddies in 6th grade, we were all committed to winning this race. And we practiced all week. We practiced making sure that every free time that we had, that we knew how to light, the fire. We knew how to cook the pancake using just without a spatula, flipping it in the air. And every free time that we had, we were committed to the hope of winning this relay race. Well, the day of the race came, and the gun goes off, and guy number 1 runs up to the fire pit with all of the firewood, and I tell you that he did not drop a piece of wood. He was able to transport all of the firewood and all of the kindling right to the fire pit. Guy number 2 is up next. He runs up and he organizes like this. It almost looks like a perfect fire lay that can easily be lit. He does that. He runs back and tags guy number 3. My job was actually guy number 3 because I was kind of a pyromaniac back then. And he tags me. I run up with my 2 strike anywhere matches. And I light the first match, but the wind blows it out. But we had practiced this all week. We did not panic. And I covered the second match with my body, and I cupped it with my hand, and I got the fire going. At this point, most of the other teams were already disqualified because their fire matches were already burnt out. So they were already disqualified. It was only us, the 6th grade boys and the 8th grade boys, that were in on this race. And I'm telling you, we got so excited at this point. I run back and tag guy number 4. Guy number 4, he runs up with his pan and the pancake batter, and he begins to fry the frying pan, and he gets so excited. And as he flips the pancake, he made one tactical error, and that is, out of all the excitement, since we were in the lead, he forgot to grease the frying pan. So rather than the pancake flipping up, it flipped sideways and fell on the ground, and it fell gooey side down. And he picks up that dirty pancake and puts it back on the frying pan to cook the other side. And at this point, we're kind of panicking, like, what's going on? What's going to happen? And all of our eyes just turns to guy number 5. And guy number 5, who's supposed to eat this thing, just got kind of staring at the pancake as it's, cooking with all of the gravel and dirt on there. Guy number 4 finishes cooking, runs back and tags guy number 5. Guy number 5, without any hesitation, runs up to that frying pan, runs up to that finished cooked pancake, closes his eyes, and eats the pancake, and we win the race. And I look back at that wonderful experience as a young boy, and it reminds me of the truth that John and Jesus is communicating here in this passage that we're going to study this afternoon. When you make a commitment to hope, it changes how you live your life. It changes your life. When you make a commitment to hope, it changes your life. Titus chapter 2, verse 13, Paul says this, and this is not our main text, but listen to what Paul describes as our blessed hope. Paul says, looking for the blessed hope and the appearing of the glory of our great God and Savior, Jesus Christ. Here, Paul is describing not just our hope, but our blessed hope. This is the hope above all other hopes, and that's the second coming of Jesus Christ. When we make a commitment to this blessed hope, how should this change how we live as Christians? And more specifically, before we talk about that, are we living in the end times? And I wanted to maybe start off with that before we get into our main text in Revelations. And I know, like with what's going on in Russia, what's going on in the Ukraine, what's going on in the Middle East, this is, a lot of people are speculating. I would say a lot of false prophets are saying this is the end times. We're living in the end times. Well, look with what Jesus says in Matthew chapter 24. Matthew chapter 24, here Jesus talks about wars and rumors of wars. Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. Jesus says this, "You will be hearing of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not frightened, for those things must take place, but this is not the end yet." This is not the end. Here, Jesus actually says that there's going to be wars and there's going to be rumors of wars, but see to it. This is a command. See to it that you are not frightened. Why? Because this is still not the end yet. False prophets during Jesus' day, all the way to false prophets today, are trying to mislead Christians and mislead people into fear. But Jesus and the Old Testament prophets said not to be frightened. Don't panic, because this is not yet the end. This is not yet the tribulation period. This is not yet the time of divine judgment over all the world. This will be in the future. Future end time tribulation events will be much worse than what we face. It actually talks about these wars and the destruction and the devastation and the death will be like the world has never known. But the things that we're experiencing now, even I would say even with COVID, as devastating as it is, this is still not the end. The book of Revelation is very straightforward. If you kind of read it all at once, Revelation chapter 1 verse chapter 3, you have the church on earth. Church is consisting of Jews and Gentiles. Revelation chapters 4 and 5, all of a sudden the church is in heaven, which indicates the rapture. Revelation chapter 6 through 19, this is the tribulation here on earth and in very horrific detail. Revelation chapter 19 and 20, you have the second coming of Christ to establish his 1,000-year earthly kingdom. Revelation chapter 21 and 22 is the end, where we have the new heavens and the new earth.